So we're at the Las Olas Boulevard because we're going for a boat ride. I'll be filming that and showing you guys around. ¿Cómo no puede? No, él no pudo hacerlo. No lo hizo nada.
Hi.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. So our first stop is over on your left-hand side. You're going to see a white, old-fashioned looking love with the city's first school teacher, Ivy Cromartie, and they got married in 1907, and that's when the second level of this house was built. They lived here for the rest of their lives. Ivy died in 1971, and it's ever since 1980, this house has been open as a museum. We're actually going over a tunnel right now. 20 feet below us right now is US Highway 1. There's actually only 3 other tunnels in Florida, 1 tunnel in Miami and 2 private tunnels underneath Walt Disney World. Next up on your left-hand side, you're going to see a big green building. This is the Riverside Hotel. The Riverside Hotel was built in the 1920s, and they had a famous actor come to the ribbon cutting ceremony. This actor later turned to politics. You might be familiar with him. His name was President Ronald Reagan. Next, on your right-hand side, you're going to see a 2-story blue house. Just in front of that blue house, you're going to see a yellow 1-story house. It has a pool and a boat out front. So this house actually belongs to Fort Lauderdale's longest-serving mayor, Jim Noggle. Jim Noggle served Fort Lauderdale for 6 consecutive terms. So here's this house coming up on your right-hand side.
Yeah, that one. The mayor. Es que es una...
Coming up next on your left-hand side, you're going to see some tall hedges and palm trees. Just in front of these trees, you're going to pass by a white house with some arched windows. This house was built in the 1920s for John Wesley Needham. It later became the John Robert Powers Modeling School for Girls. Just in front of the modeling school, still on your left-hand side, you're going to see some green condos. You can get a condo for your very own for $50,000. That is if you were still in 1970. Today they go for about $300,000. Coming up next on your left-hand side, just in front of these green condos, you're going to see a white small house with some green on the shutters. Something unique about this house is it's actually made out of dade pine. Dade pine is a super rare and strong type of wood. It only grew in Miami, and it's impervious to insects and can't rot. Also super strong against hurricanes. Unfortunately, besides this house coming up on your left in the Stranahan house, you won't find many more houses made out of dade pine because they were all chopped down back in the early 20th century. Just in front of this White House here, on your left-hand side, you're going to see what looks kind of like a tiki hut. But here in South Florida, we actually call them cheeky huts. The Native American tribe of South Florida, the Seminole tribe, their word for tiki hut is cheeky hut. And if you have a Seminole build your tiki hut for you, you actually don't need a permit. Now, I don't know if you ever felt like you don't have enough space in your kitchen to get stuff done. You won't have this problem in the house coming up on your left-hand side. This big white house with a balcony. You look closer on the first floor, from the center of the house all the way to the left, it's all their kitchen. Coming up soon on your right-hand side, we're going to see a big two-story white house. There's a flagpole up front, a big rectangle pool, and I don't know if we have any Alabama fans on board, but this was Nick Saban. I know. This was Nick Saban's house back when he coached the Miami Dolphins. So Wayne Huizenga owns the Miami Dolphins. He's a local billionaire, and he let Nick Saban live in this house for free while he was the coach. Just in front of Nick Saban's house, we're going to pass by a seafoam greenhouse. So fun fact about this house is that's where they filmed the 1991 film Cape Fear. This movie starred Robert De Niro and Nick Nolte. This film actually took place in North Carolina, but Nick Nolte was on house arrest for a DUI, so they had to take out all these palm trees here and put in pine trees instead. Coming up next on your left-hand side, this coral house with the green around the windows, that's the Egan family home. They started Alamo Rent-A-Car. Coming up next in front of the Egan's home, you're going to see a big house with some jet skis on a floating dock out front. This house was built for the Bell family, the founders of Taco Bell. Now coming up next on your right-hand side, we're going to see up on a corner a house that kind of looks like it came straight out of Harry Potter world. So this is the home of Wayne Huizenga's niece, Holly. He gave this house to her as a wedding gift. He paid Universal Studios $28 million to come down to build this house. Coming up next, still on the left-hand side, back to the Taco Bell house, you're going to see a crocodile on the rock.